Ooh, y'all, look at this. Look at this. These are so soft. Would you look at this? So soft. Still warm from the oven. Look at this big daddy. Oh my goodness gracious. Just so soft. Look at this big daddy. Oh my goodness gracious. Just so soft. Let me get my... Just so soft, y'all. Gorgeous. Look at the bottoms, perfectly done. So nice. If y'all try these, this flavor is out of this world. I probably should let them cool a little more. Let's see what the crumb looks like. Oh yes, folks. Make your burger on that. Or whatever else you're going to make with it. Guys, you cannot beat these. Just know how to make a hamburger bun. They're so worth it. So y'all come along with me and let's make them. Anyway, there you have it, guys. Beautiful, beautiful hamburger buns. They are so good, y'all. And don't be tempted to put them in the fridge, but just put them in like a airtight container, a Ziploc bag, and they'll stay good for up to 3 days just on your cabinet. Okay? I hope y'all are going to enjoy this video. And if you do, don't forget, comment, like, and subscribe. Because I appreciate y'all, and you know it. Okay, let's get started. Hey everybody, it's me, Hetty, and today I'm going to share with you how I've been making my hamburger buns the last several years. It's one of those, have no idea where I got the recipe. It's a good one though. I want to talk to y'all about, I'm going to do a video in the future about what I feel like are kitchen gadgets you just really need to have on hand. Most all of them are inexpensive, and we'll cover that in a future topic. But right now, the best way you can do this is to have one of these. It's just a barbecue. This time of year, you can find them everywhere. You can probably even find one at the grocery store. You just need it. It's just a probe. Mine, they work differently, but this one, you just open it up. You set it to Fahrenheit, if that's where you are, and then you move on, okay? So I have a cup of water, and I had to have it on the hot side so I could get everything ready so it'd be right when I took the temp. And for this, you want it to be about 105. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. I'm trying to do that without spilling. It is 105, okay? That's going to be to trigger our yeast. So I'm adding in just a pack of, I keep jars of yeast in my freezer, but when I'm making a video, I try to use packets for y'all. I'm not going to always do that, and I haven't in the past, but it is easier for y'all just to buy a little 3-pack of these packages of yeast. I'm going to give that a good stir, as you can see, and I'm adding, this recipe is going to call for 3 tablespoons of sugar, and I'm taking one of those tablespoons right now and putting it in. This is to feed the yeast. It's easier just to go with a tablespoon instead of a teaspoon or so. That's all you really need. But then you got to measure out, you need 3 total for the recipe. So it's just easier throwing one. It's not going to hurt anything, just throwing that 1 tablespoon. All right, we're going to let this sit. This is called blooming the yeast, making sure your yeast is viable. If we get a nice thick, almost like a head of beer, layer of foam on top in about 10 minutes, we'll be ready to roll. And I have the camera on a different tripod. I hope y'all can see that. Okay, I'll come back in 10 minutes and I'll show you what I've got. Okay, I'm just editing this in. I want to show you something. Of course, y'all have seen I keep these buckets with my stuff in it, sugar, flour, all that kind of stuff, self-rising flour, all that, cornmeal. Anyway, before you start measuring out your flour, don't just ever just go in and do this. That can make a dense bread, no matter if you're making a loaf of bread or whatever you're making. Just go in and give it a little aeration with this whisk. You could use a fork, just fluff it up a little bit. That's all you have to do. And then what you want to do is I'm trying to balance this. Let's see, where'd my scoop go? I don't see it. So anyway, I'll just use this. I'm making do, y'all. You then spoon it in lightly. Spoon it in lightly. Now, if you're measuring for this recipe, you're going to need about a pound of flour. I'm not measuring it by weight, so I know just through trial and error, and of course I've read it in other places, supposedly about 3 1/3 to 3 1/2 cups of flour equals right at a pound. Okay, so I've already got 1 cup done, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this so you can see it. Now, what I didn't do, I was talking. Let me show you what I really do. I kind of knock it around lightly like that, and I usually just use a butter knife. I've done this in videos for y'all, and then I put it in that way. And of course, I need a third, so I'm just going to come in. I can eyeball that because I'm going to have a little extra flour. And if the the dough is a little too sticky, then I've got this little bowl here. See, I'm keeping some flour in that to sprinkle. So I hope you saw that. Anyway, back to the blooming of the yeast. I'll go over everything, but I am using a pound of flour for this recipe, give or take. It's not exact, y'all. In bread making, you're going to find out, depending on the weather, depending on the time of year, things can just be different. And that's just the way it is. If you don't have a scale, which is another, quote, gadget that I feel every actual really good kitchen would have, then by all means, just try it this way. It'll be fine. Okay, when that yeast is ready, I'll come back. As I go through here, I'm going to go down the list of ingredients. I know I added it in. I'm going to show you that flour, but I'm still going to go down the whole list, okay? So, of course, we had our cup of warm water, and I put in a tablespoon of sugar and a package of yeast. So now, this is all just going to go in my mixer. Just use your stand mixer, whatever you have. All right. And now I've got, I'm just putting that in there already. So I've got 2 eggs. I'm going to use this for the actual bun recipe. And this one I'm going to use, since it's small, y'all know I've got chickens, and I use these small ones for little things. Like, for instance, egg wash. Because I don't need really a whole big egg for that. And so I'm going to go over that. You know, I've got my sugar already. I showed you I already put in 1 tablespoon. I'll add 2 tablespoons to this. I have 3 tablespoons of melted butter. I have 1 tablespoon of milk. That'll be for the egg wash later. I just got it out to show you. And this is salt I have, and I'm hoping I can show you in the camera. This is a teaspoon. I need a teaspoon, but I need a little hair over a teaspoon. So I'm going to hope that the camera's picking this up. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of going slightly, and unfortunately I can't show it to you. Well, here, maybe you can see the difference. So this is what I'm going to use, okay, like this. All right, now if I was going to level this off, just like with flour or anything else, I would just level this off. Here, let's see if I can do it carefully. Setting it on top of here. See, I would just level that off if I needed exactly a teaspoon. So it'd be even. But in this case, I want just a slightly rounded, so that's kind of up and over your rim just a little bit. All right, so here's our mixture. And I'm going ahead and adding in the melted butter. I did the salt already. I don't need the milk. I need the egg, so I'm going to crack that egg. Never crack directly. I see people doing that. It just drives me nuts. Never crack your egg directly into your food. Why? Because it happens to the best of us. A piece of shell got in. You can't always get them if they're small, so just be safe and crack your egg in a separate bowl. That's what I do. Just a little tidbit if I'm not knocking everything over. Okay, still got to add in my 2 tablespoons of sugar. This is awkward, guys, the way I'm taping this, so just trying to get everything done. So I got in my water, my egg, my sugar, my butter, my salt. I don't need my oil yet. I'll show you what that's for. It's really easy. Showed you the milk. And guess what? Again, happens to the best of us. I made up a whole bunch of everything bagel seasoning last week or the week before, and I forgot to put it on my list. I needed more sesame seeds, but I do have these really good black sesame seeds, and they're good. I have actually used them before. They're very good. So my buns might look weird in the picture, but they're going to taste great. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to start adding in the flour. Okay, I got to bust that yolk. Let me do that real quick. Come on, hardhead, get in there. I'm going to go ahead and add a cup. Well, that wasn't quite a cup. I'm going to add in about half of my flour. Now we're going to let this go. And I'm going to go ahead and add in the rest. And I'm going to let this knead for about, I don't know, 5-ish minutes. And then we'll go from there. If it's super sticky, I will add a little more flour, only about a tablespoon at a time. Don't just go dumping a bunch of flour trying to guess, because you'll make dense buns. They won't be light and fluffy and good. So you've just got to be patient with this dough. And it is going to be sticky when I'm done. But I plan for it to be like that. And I hope I don't need to work a whole bunch of more flour in it. But we're not even there yet. So we're going to do this. So let me incorporate this for y'all. And this looks like a wet mess. I'm going to let it keep kneading. But I showed you this. This is my extra flour that I had on hand for the recipe. Okay? So there we go. I'm going to let this go. And I'll see y'all in about 5 minutes. We'll see what we have. Alrighty, it's been about just under 5 minutes, and mine is coming together. I'm going to actually test. Of course, my hands are clean, and I actually think this is just right, and I don't need to. Off camera, I did add 1 tablespoon, okay? So sometimes you have to add more than that. And this is for sprinkling it. I got too much flour. I got 2 bowls. I should have moved one. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to finish this for about another minute, and then I'll have to switch my set around so I can come out and show you what we're going to do next, okay? Alrighty, I just wanted to show you this consistency. It's still a little on the sticky side, and believe me, I would rather have it a little on the sticky side, but as you can see, it's pulling itself away from the sides and the bottom of the bowl. Alright, so now I'm going to pull it out, and then we'll go to what's next. Alrighty, I'm trying to keep my microphone cord out of the shot. I hope it's not bothering you. Anyway, y'all know I like to use just my little small strainer when I put my flour down. And then I kind of just scatter it like that. Alright, now I don't want a lot of flour down, because I'm not even sure I'm going to need it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to pull that to the side. Just scatter it around like this, and I'll sprinkle the top a little bit. It's coming out pretty good. It is a sticky dough, like I had said. Get him out. This has been one of those days my hands do not want to work. Thank goodness for this wonderful, I feel so blessed to have it, stand mixer. Y'all know I showed it to you. I got it for I was so sick last summer, and my sons went in 3 ways and got it for me. It was expensive, so I know that cost them a lot at their young age. They're nice young men, hardworking. Don't know what I'd do without them. One son wants to do voiceovers, and he's really been good at it since he was a kid. And 2 of my sons are game developers. Now, that's a very light dusting, very light. And I'm going to also, look, flour my hands. All right, and I'm just going to pat this out. I'm going to just knead it together because it's sticky, but I'd rather it be on the sticky side as opposed to the dense side. You don't want that. That's why I told y'all, never add more than about a tablespoon of, and I hope I'm not shaking this table. If I am, I apologize. Anyway, y'all, this is a beautiful, soft dough, all right? I'm just going to turn it under. All right, and it's still sticky, so I'm going to pat my hands. I'm going to come around. Kind of just rolling out that bottom. Not trying to be perfect right now, not at all. All right, I'll probably do this one more time. All right, so then I'm just bringing this together. Bringing that together, all right? And I'm gonna, let me get my bowl. I forgot to get my bowl. And I'm gonna show you what we gotta do next. Now this would not normally be my chosen bowl to do this, but the one I like is in the dishwasher and it's way too hot to use right now. So look, here's where the oil comes in. You'll see in the recipe below. Y'all know, I'm gonna take 2 seconds. Y'all know all of my, if you're new to my channel, number one, welcome and thank you for watching. My recipes are always down below in the description, okay? And I'm slow about answering messages, but my regulars know I will eventually get to them if I can, okay? All right, now I've got just a little bit of oil in here, and I'm just gonna smear it around. See that? All it is kind of come up the sides a little bit. Don't neglect the sides because your dough's gonna rise, okay? And then I'm gonna take this, and I'm putting it down face first. Hold on, I want to pinch that together just a little more. Yeah. This is just for the rise, y'all, the first rise. All right, now I'm gonna put this top down because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to cover all the surface with this oil. You can do it with butter as well, but it's just easier just to use cooking oil. I'd use a plain neutral flavor. I wouldn't use a strong olive oil for a hamburger bun. All right, so then guess what? Now, I'm blessed to have a proof setting on my oven. Y'all know I got my new stove when I bought this house, and boy, I have just loved it. But if you don't have a proof oven, look, I'm 57 years old. I've had my bread do rises and my buns and dinner rolls and everything else. Just the warmest spot in your kitchen. Just put a tea towel over it, boom. Now this might take 2 hours. But I'll let you know my time. It could take up to 2 hours. It might be an hour and a half, depending on the time of year. We all know this. Temper your kitchen, all that stuff is a variable. But you're going to want it to basically double in size, okay? So when that happens, we will continue. Okay, everybody. It's been a couple hours. I've been doing other things. And this has definitely doubled in size, okay? So there's not a whole lot to do left. These are so easy to make. You got to at least try it once. I'm going to sprinkle on a little flour like I showed y'all. Kind of move it around, move some to the sides because I don't need that much. I just don't want it to stick to the table. And then the fun part, quote, punching this. Oh, it's so nice and soft, y'all. So I'm going to just turn this out. And now, don't be afraid. You can use some flour, but you don't want to, again, like before, you don't want to over flour it, okay? I'm going to give it a couple of kneads. All right, not too much. I'll pat it out. I don't know, to about, I don't know, I guess if I had to measure this, about 1/2 inch thick. And all you do when you're doing this, you can roll it out in a roll if you want to. You can weigh it with a scale if you want to be exactly exact, but you know, look, I'm not trying to be fancy here. I'm just doing this for my family, so they don't have to be all perfect. And if I get one, you know, and if I get one, y'all, I have got 2 gnats, aka fruit flies. They came in through the back door. Nice day. We had the door open, wasn't thinking. The compost is about 10 feet from where I'm at. I guess that's where they congregated, and some of them were able to get in. And I got them about all gummed. I got 2 I can't get. They've been driving me nuts for about a day. Don't you worry. Consider me a gnat murderer, because I definitely am going to get them. Now, these end pieces, a lot of times, they're the smaller ones, so I can tell this middle one's going to be a big one. So I already can eyeball that and tell you. So you're just trying to make them about even. And I'm just going to roll it. You can use your hand, you can do the table method, any of that, to make them smooth. All right. This isn't perfect, but I'm going to do all of them first, and then I'll go back. And I'm just going to roll them Roll 'em, roll 'em, roll 'em. Keep just roll 'em. Hamburger buns. Okay, I need to edit that out. All right. These are going to have to rise a second time, about an hour. So this isn't something, I've tried 40-minute hamburger buns, you name it. I've tried all of it. But I really like this recipe. Do I do 40-minute hamburger buns? Yes. Do I still go out and buy hamburger buns? Yes. Remember how I told y'all to pick your battles? I'll bring you back when I got them all rolled out. As you can see, I've got them pretty even. And all I'm going to do now is, I just got my old cookie sheet. I'm going to line these up first so I can get the cookie sheet in the shot. Let's see if I can't fit that. There we go. Look at that. And so after I get on the cookie sheet, I'm just going to give it a nice little pat like this. Remember, these are going to rise up again. And I'm going to put another one. I'm going to pat them out. They're going to expand. And I usually do 6 down like this. And to get all 8 of them on the cookie sheet, just do it like that. They're going to touch, but don't buns touch. That's part of what makes them look like a package of 8. Well, it's a beat up cookie sheet I grabbed, isn't it? Now these are going to rise again. So okay, let's see, I think he's a hair bigger. I'd rather put just like I've shown y'all with chicken and stuff, always put your quote big uns on the outside corners compared to your smaller ones. Actually, I think they're almost the same. Pretty good at eye guessing. I wouldn't be much off. Okay, and I'm just gonna pat them down like that. Then just, since I don't want them to stick, this is just almost like shaking. Now I got him a little too much. Just rubbing a little flour on the top. Why? So they won't stick to. Since you're on a cookie sheet, you know you're a lot shallower, and you don't want a lot of weight on them. This is a very thin tea towel I'm using. You can even just use saran wrap if you want to, but since I already had this towel on, I'm using it for the video. All right, just if you're going to use saran wrap, it definitely will stick, and you don't want your buns deflating after you've let them rise for an hour. So again, do that very light dusting. You don't want it to be sprinkled. We're not making pizza dough or anything like that. You want that flour worked in for the most part. Anyway, these are going back into my proofing oven. My regular oven set on proof is what I mean. And I'll see you in an hour. Now I cracked that egg and I gave it a little scramble. And now you can also just use cold water. And now I'm adding in that milk, which I had in the fridge. Now I've pulled it out, making a little egg wash. Easy as pie. And now you get to see, not perfect. I should have smoothed them out a little better, but hey, they're going to be really good. Look at the size of them compared. Now, this next thing I'm going to show you is very easy. Nothing says you have to do this, but it definitely makes them get a really lovely top. And if you are using sesame seeds, it helps. And of course, any sesame seed is optional. Anyway, I do want to tell you, you don't want to go real hard on these. It wouldn't take much to deflate these. You don't want them to lose their risen state puffiness. So I'm going very lightly on these. I'm going to do the rest off camera, and when I get them all done, I'll bring you back. Now I wanted to show you, I think I turned it upside down in the video, so I'm trying to remember when I'm doing the iPhone, it's exactly as I hold it. This is what I'm using. I'm using black sesame seed today. You don't have to use any, but I mean, you know, you want a little bit nice little sesame seed crunch on your buns. Don't have to put many. I don't even have to do all of them. And as soon as I do this, they'll go in the oven. I've got my oven now preheating to 375, and they will go in for, I don't know, 15-ish minutes. Again, I tell y'all till I'm blue in the face. All ovens are not alike. This, we got the least. I'll get up in a little shape. Now, 375. I'll see y'all in 15 or 16 minutes. I'll know when they're done, and I'll bring you back. It seems like a lot of work. It's really not. It's just waiting on the rise. That's the problem most people have. The actual work of mixing it and turning out your dough and getting it all fixed, that's nothing. So anyway, I hope you will try this. I'll bring you back for the finished product. The moment of truth. Yum, y'all. Oh my gosh. These are so nice. They're so big. Whew, they're too hot. I can't pick them up. There you have it. They're so soft. Oh my gosh. These are going to be so good. I know. I've been making them like this for several years. Anyway, I'll have a pretty picture for y'all. And I thank you for watching. I know it was a long one, but well worth it. Like I said, what takes most time is just the rise. Rise number 1 for 2 hours and rise number 2 for 1 hour. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I love y'all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.